High in the branches of the whispering oak, where the last golden leaves clung stubbornly against the crisp autumn wind, lived a small squirrel named Nutkin. Unlike his cousins busily burying acorns for the long winter sleep, Nutkin collected something far more precious and elusive. Dreams, sweet dreams. He didn't hoard them greedily, but gathered them gently. Like fallen petals, he found them caught in dewdrops at dawn, shimmering on spiderwebs silvered by moonlight, or drifting lazily on the warm scent of cinnamon bark. Each dream he caught, he carefully tucked away in a special hollow lined with the softest moss and dried lavender, his secret stash for the cold nights ahead. This wasn't mere food, it was sustenance for the soul, gathered with quiet reverence as the nights grew longer and frost began to paint delicate patterns on the forest floor. A subtle melancholy settled over the woodland. The frantic energy of harvest faded, replaced by a deep quiet punctuated only by the sighing wind. Nutkin, nestled in his dray, felt a familiar pang. He loved the solitude, yet sometimes, the vast silence felt heavy. He watched the moon, a cold silver coin in the black velvet sky, and remembered the warmth of summer laughter echoing through the leaves. It was then he felt the stirring of his own special purpose, a calling deeper than the instinct to gather nuts. His collection wasn't meant to be kept alone in the dark. One particularly biting night, the wind howled like a lonely wolf, rattling the bare branches. Nutkin heard a faint, weary hoot coming from the ancient elm where old Mr. Screech the owl resided, padding softly over the frosted twigs. Nutkin found the great bird hunched, his feathers puffed against the cold, his usually sharp eyes clouded with a distant sorrow. Troublesome winds, muttered Mr. Screech, his voice raspy. They stir up old memories, chilly ones. Without a word, Nutkin scurried back home. He returned moments later, offering a single, luminous dream fragment plucked from his stash. It glowed softly, like captured starlight, radiating pure, unburdened courage. Mr. Screech blinked, then gently took it. As the light touched his beak, his feathers seemed to soften, and a long-forgotten warmth flickered in his eyes. Ah, he sighed, a sound like rustling parchment giving way to peace. The wind sings sweeter now. A few nights later, a tiny, shivering sob reached Nutkin's keen ears. He followed the sound to the base of a thick holly bush, finding Millie Mouse curled into a trembling ball. The dark, it feels so big and empty tonight, she whispered, tears glistening on her whiskers. I can't remember my mother's lullaby. Nutkin's heart squeezed. He raced back to his hollow and carefully selected a dream woven with pure comfort, a soft melody woven with the scent of warm milk and the feeling of absolute safety. He placed it gently beside Millie as the radiant warmth enveloped her. Her shivering ceased. A faint, contented smile touched her lips as the forgotten melody hummed silently within her, wrapping her in an invisible, protective embrace. She snuggled deeper into her nest, breathing slowly and evenly. Nutkin continued his quiet mission. He brought a sliver of joyful abandon to the stiff-backed badger. Lost in worries over his set's security, he offered a wisp of vibrant color and sunshine to the elderly hedgehog, whose world had seemed gray and shrunken each time he witnessed the transformation. A softening of tension, a light returning to weary eyes, a sigh of profound relief. Yet, after delivering the last dream he'd planned to give that night, a peculiar hollowness echoed within his own small chest. Sitting alone beneath the vast, indifferent stars, surrounded by the slumbering forest he'd helped soothe, Nutkin felt an unfamiliar pang of profound loneliness. He had poured out his treasures, yet his own heart felt strangely cold and empty. He returned to his dray, the moss lining suddenly feeling less soft, the lavender scent fading. He curled up tight, trying to conjure his own sweet dream, but only the image of the vast, silent forest filled his mind. Just as a small tear threatened to escape, a faint rustling sounded at his doorway, then another. Blinking, Nutkin peered out. There, in the moonlight, sat Mr. Screech, Millie Mouse, the badger, the hedgehog, and others he'd visited. None spoke. Instead, each held something small, something glowing softly in their paws or beaks. They weren't taking, they were giving. Millie offered a tiny, radiant bead of pure comfort she'd somehow nurtured from the dream he gave her. Mr. Screech placed a shimmering fragment of steadfast courage. Brighter now, the badger contributed a warm nugget of security, the hedgehog a thread of vibrant sunshine. Piece by glowing piece, they filled his hollow not just with light, but with the profound warmth of their gratitude and shared affection. Nutkin watched, overwhelmed, as his stash, once depleted, now overflowed with a collective radiance far brighter than any He'd gathered alone. It wasn't just the light, it was the tangible warmth of their kindness, the silent understanding passing between them. He nestled into the replenished hollow, the combined glow bathing his fur in gentle light. The loneliness vanished, replaced by a deep, encompassing warmth that seeped into his very bones. Outside, the first delicate snowflakes began to drift down, blanketing the whispering oak in silence. But within Nutkin's dray, nestled among the collective dreams of courage, comfort, joy, and security gifted back to him tenfold, there was only profound peace. His own eyes grew heavy, lulled by the gentle pulse of shared warmth as sleep finally claimed him. A single, perfect dream acorn of pure contentment formed in his paws, a silent testament to the sweetest dream of all. Knowing he was truly, deeply cherished, the forest slept, wrapped in stillness, cradled by the quiet magic born from one squirrel's stash and a community's grateful heart.